What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Farming Sim, and I am joined by David.
Hey everyone, we're back on good old Hutan Pantai.
Yeah. Though, is that actually? I didn't even check yet. That field is ready to go.
Should be,
Yeah, it
because
is.
it was one stage off last time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set an AI off on 4. I might actually go and cut the grass rather than go straight into. I need to put wood into the sawmill, but I'm not sure how exactly my best way of doing it yet. Whether I go and buy a piece of land again and just go and de-tree somewhere.
Yeah.
Any preference to what we put on the bottom of 4?
Nope.
I mean, we own the grain mill now, so it makes sense. Our two options are cereal crops or like beets, but we have. I think the canning factory will be busy with our beets for quite a while.
Yeah.
So I'm tempted to make it cereal crops for now, and we'll just feed that grain mill.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
So I'm going to put wheat on this field, then just the good old perennial.
Okay.
Oh, you'll notice the white tractor now. I've pretty much got living at the stone because I put the conveyors there, which might actually they'll probably need turning on, I would think.
Probably because they weren't running when.
They just need starting up.
And
Yeah.
I don't know if I mentioned that, but
Oh yeah, no you didn't.
yeah, they're coming up tomorrow. They're going to run full. Basically, obviously I told you why I wasn't getting full.
Yeah, you told us that.
It was a fuck up on their end. I am actually getting compensation like this as well.
Oh good. So you should.
And that's not even with obviously the ombudsman being involved. They're actually, I basically said the technical guy that was dealing with it, I said, well, am I actually going to see any compensation out of it? I said, I'm curious. I said, I'm not pushing for it, but I'm curious.
Yeah. There's the 3 high capacity trailers there. If you need a tractor on them, just grab one of the spares off the yard.
And yeah, I will see compensation.
Obviously, folks, no Alan today. At the time of recording this, we're still having that issue where crossplay isn't working.
Yeah.
We're hoping Farm Sim is getting very irritating, very fast.
I'm hoping Farm Sim hurry up and fix it. If that's what you said.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We need him to get on that because it's stupid that we're losing the ability for him to play with it just because of a bug in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're going to advertise your game as crossplay, make goddamn sure it works in crossplay.
And that's the thing. Xbox to Xbox can connect.
Oh yeah, the console one. It's the console to PC connection that's.
Yeah.
We still assume that's the issue. That seems to be, as far as we can tell. Because obviously, me and you can connect together, all right.
That's what I mean. PC to PC can connect. He said
he's played with another friend both on console.
Yeah, so console to console connection works.
It's not just a problem with our server or something silly, but as far as we're aware, it isn't.
No, it can't be. Because...
I know it probably isn't.
No, but if you think about it, if you remember, we did a test where we tried to connect into him hosting a game on console.
Yeah, that didn't work. So yeah,
and that didn't work.
So yeah, so it is a problem with something crossplay related.
Yeah. Because I remember us trying, because he tried to load up just to default this map, and neither of us could connect into him. Wasn't just like me not being able to connect into him or whatever like that. It could literally be both of us that we couldn't connect into him. So that kind of proves that it's crossplay.
Yeah.
A crossplay issue.
Oh yeah.
Which, for a game that since launch it was working.
That's the other thing. Yeah, it was working really well.
How did they manage to screw it up so much?
Those who don't know, the issue is it gets to about 60% and then just fails to connect.
Yeah, it just dumps you out.
You get to the point where it gives us like the slot limit and everything, so it clearly knows there's a console player trying to join and then just gives up.
Well, it knows it tries to join, it gets as far as synchronizing data with other players, but as soon as it hits that point, it gives up. Because, you know, it'll see him... And when you join to the server, yeah, everybody comes up as unknown.
At first, until it gets the data in.
Until it syncs. But then, you know, we've also thought, oh well, is it, you know, is it the save file? So we did try something else.
We tried a completely mod-free save file. See if there's a bad mod or something causing an issue.
But it did the same.
No, it's done the same right through.
So that kind of points to the only thing it can be, and that's crossplay.
Yeah, I mean that's not like I say, since because it was all part of the precision farming, and I still think precision farming is slightly bugged. Because those who have run it on maps say they lose about, even if you've got everything perfect, they're losing a ton of yield.
Yeah, that doesn't sound quite right.
Now the idea with precision farming, when you've got everything right, your yield should be very high.
Well, your yield should be high, and you should be getting your bonuses as well. So
I mean, I've got one single player save where I've sort of messed with it, but it's not. I haven't put it on my Riverbend series yet because I think it's still bugged.
I kind of wouldn't.
I don't want it. I will add it at some. I'll probably add it. I like what precision farming brought to the game.
Well, I like precision farming, but in its current state, I wouldn't bother.
I would really like the fact on 22 that if you got it right, you only needed to fertilise like once, and you could get everything done, you know. But yeah, as it stands at the moment, I've not added it to the game because, like I say, especially because I'm Riverbend, I don't want to be losing shit ton of yield right now because I'm trying to get things through. I'm already worrying about tornadoes breaking through my fields or hailstones taking chunks of them out.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said to you before, the thing shows a tornado for Mars, whether it'll... I mean, I've had 2 on Riverbend so far. Luckily, neither have hit my farm yet. Although technically one did hit a field I now own, but I didn't own at the time. I didn't own it when the tornado hit things. It's the one thing that kind of, I don't say annoys me, but I kind of wish. Because obviously, you know, you saw one in this map.
Yeah.
It like destroys trees. Now, the AI sadly never do anything with trees.
No.
So I'm like several years after that first tornado in Riverbend, and the destroyed trees are still there. Yeah. I feel like buying the land, ripping them down, replanting them, and selling the land again just to try and make it look like things have moved on, you know.
Yeah. Because well, shit.
What have you done?
Oh, nothing. Just literally put everything into the back trailer and realised I should have just put it into the front trailer.
Why? Because you don't have enough to fill all 3?
Yeah.
But what you have to do is disconnect to the front, just disconnect the last trailer, and then just take that.
Yeah.
Because how much has come off that field?
220,706.
Right, so it will all fit in the mill then.
I'm experiencing a bug.
So.
Or am I? Oh no, ignore me. It's alright.
It appears we forgot to sub the rice field at some point at the moment because there's quite a lot of dead spots in it, which is annoying.
For God's sake. And this is the problem. We don't have our other farm hands, so we're not.
I just only remembered then.
You know, we're busy.
Yeah.
Then it's a thing that we keep forgetting to do.
I'm trying to look now to see if there's a. I think there's a piece of land that's like a field with a good amount of trees attached, so we can sort of get both at once.
So what we actually doing with the harvester now then?
I mean, unless it's a decent red beak contract, which there isn't.
I'm sure.
I mean, I'd just return it because we don't need it again. We've not planted. Have we planted any root crops this time? Have we? No, we've gone all cereals again, I think. I mean, the idea was I'd probably do the same again. Is we'll time it. We'll plant every single field with root crops when we need to. Rent that big boy and then just go through it all.
Because we rented the trailers as well, didn't we?
Yes, obviously don't get rid of them until you've...
No, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna go and...
Like I say, by the sound of it, it should all fit in the canning factory, so we're straight.
In theory.
Yeah, well, the capacity is 240,000 litres.
Yeah. But it's just like... You gotta excuse it, folks. You know, it's been a little bit of a... We've had a little... Unfortunately, not our fault, but we've got a little bit of a break from it, and we're just getting back into farms.
Yeah. And into this... The trouble I've got is because I have my Riverbend series as well, sometimes it's remembering what exactly applies to what map.
Yeah.
I know that sounds silly.
Whereas I don't have anything else.
And they're thinking, well, this needs doing fairly soon. And I think, oh no, that's Riverbend, or that's even my... I actually played my Oak Bridge map for a little while. I'm at the point where I'm really motivated to Riverbend right now.
David's flying past.
Yeah, field is mowed. I've now rented a windrower. And we're going to windrow that field and then bale it.
Yeah. Did we not have a windrower? No.
I looked through the vehicle list and couldn't see. I think we had one rented for a while.
Yeah.
But I looked through the vehicle list and couldn't see one. I tell you what, I wish this... Hang on a second, that's probably part of the reason why.
What?
I wish this snow effect area could start off, but we hadn't spent time back up.
No.
No, see, the game doesn't show it as snowing, yet we've got the friggin' snow effect. So obviously once that AI's finished the wheat, we can move over and get field 3 replanted.
Yeah. I mean, 12, let's say, even if we bought 12,
it's a good sized field, it's a massive field. I say we could split that in half pretty easily, if we wanted to.
I mean, eventually we'll probably bring them other fields back into one.
If it was up to me, mate, I think 8, 9 and 12 would make one nice big mega field. And the thing is, we now have the harvester that could probably manage that.
I know, but we kind of don't.
At the moment, we're better off how, because we don't need 1 million litres of one particular product right now.
No, we don't want...
So to me, the fields are better used to how we have, so we can plant varieties.
Yeah, but we don't want to go down back down the Zonka road.
Maybe I do. No, I know.
Because I would hate to see all them fields combine and you do something stupid like planting potatoes.
I won't do potatoes, I do red beets. Yeah, but don't forget, we have the Colossus gear.
I know we have the Colossus gear, but...
You have the Colossus gear on it with like the 10 or 25 meter unrealistic pickup.
Yeah.
And it will eat through a field like that for absolute fun.
Oh, yeah, I get that, but... You know what I mean?
I'm actually surprised I didn't put the 10 meter header on that one by the looks of it. I usually use the 10 meter unrealistic just so you can actually
I know, I don't know why.
wallop through a field in a...
I have no idea what you did.
No, I don't really, but... Either way, you got through it in not too bad time.
Nice.
Well, is there quite a few pallets down there?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 16, 18, 20, about 22.
I mean, if you want to get back down there with a flatbed and go and sell them at the farmer's market, that may give us the money we need to buy another piece of land.
Give me a second, let me drop the red beets off first.
Oh no, I'm just saying...
There we go, that's the red beets all dropped off.
If you're going to do that, there's a couple of pallets of mushrooms out here, probably.
Oh yeah. I need to get back there. Need to get all the gear returned.
Well, you can do that from the pause menu once you know what you're returning.
Pause
Just
menu?
didn't want to risk... You know, it's the pause menu now, and it's not in the vehicles tab anymore, it's in the friggin'...
Oh yeah, it's in that piece of shit now.
Where your vehicles list is, you can return them from in there.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to do it while you had the choice. I guarantee you I'd return the wrong friggin' trailer.
See, I wish you could... Ooh. You need to get that Valtra serviced at some point.
I know.
You're on 20...
I'm sat in it, I know.
That Valtra... Actually, the white needs a service or some.
Are we going to bother with the white? Because the white, like I said, the white now lives up at the stone place.
Well, the Farm Tech DDK 2400.
That's that big trailer in it.
That's the dolly.
The dolly trailer. That and the white are now pretty much resigned to stone duties.
Yeah.
I know the Valtra needs servicing. I'm here looking at the
yeah, it's like down.
The bar.
It's down at like 20%.
Yeah, I've got the bar in front of me, so I can see what it's at.
There it is.
I don't think we have like a service thing on the yard, do we? Just in case they're running down to the shop.
We did. We did. It was a little. There is a little.
I think we got rid of it.
Yeah, that was.
It was up at the old yard.
It was at the old yard, but.
Yeah, for the new yard, the shop's only there, isn't it?
Yeah. Right. That's all the gear gone back.
Nice.
So I need to go and get that.
Grab one of the flatbeds.
Well, which
one?
Because what did you not want to do?
I'll need one of them for auto load. I think you can take the Pong gigs. I can use the Anderson group.
Yeah, you need the red one.
Yeah, you can take the Pong gig, which is the green one.
Yeah.
I actually, in single player, I've actually got the Universal Auto Load mod because I was getting a bit pallet snowed under myself. I thought about bringing it into this, but I don't know if putting it in and then taking it back out when console rejoin cause any issues.
You shouldn't.
Yeah, the game can be funny with stuff like that. It's just one of those.
Yeah, I know.
I just that fill now Wind Road. So I'll go and get this tractor serviced and I'll grab the baler. Obviously the baler's got the wrapper built in, so it'll be another load of silage bales.
Yeah. You said there was mushroom here.
There was a couple of pallets on the one round the back. No, I think the other two have, as I said, just a distributing, aren't they? Just to send stuff straight to the canning factory.
I think so.
The greenhouses do like lettuce and that.
Also, we do have a baler here.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I know we have. The little John Deere one.
Yeah.
But it's a round baler and it's a wrapper built in, so.
Now, it may sound like a stupid question. Where's the mushrooms?
Down next to field 4.
Yeah. That field's going to need rolling as well, isn't it?
You need rolling, you need at least one level of fertilisation, I would expect.
Well, that shouldn't be too hard. We've got that big bloody. We've got that.
But it won't want fertilising until it's grown a level.
Oh, I know.
The seeder's putting one level down on it.
Yeah, sorry folks. We would be using forklifts and stuff, but with the amount.
And when consoles here, we have no choice, but sometimes it is nice just to be able to super strength them in.
It's just the fact that, as you see, we do have a lot of pallets.
Ooh, I apologise.
What?
Well, that repair cost has just cost.
You kind of wonder why I bang on you about keeping service topped up. But I'm hoping that what this lot's going to make.
Oh, if you said there's 20 odd pallets down, and I reckon it should be 100. It should be 100 grand down there.
There's
my
22
book.
pallets.
Plus the mushrooms. I don't really want to take the eggs, is there? In fact, take the eggs to the canning factory. Thinking about it? Because they go into a recipe in there, don't they?
Well, the mushrooms don't. The mushrooms don't go to the canning factory.
No, the mushrooms you want to sell.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure one of the canning.
If I tried to unload the.
What you'll do is you have to park next to it and throw the eggs into their loading point. So, sorry, I just thought about it. I'm pretty sure there's a recipe in there that I'm pretty sure uses eggs that we're making.
Noodle.
No, that's just, yeah, flour and eggs. So yeah, and there's like I think at least 2 pallets of eggs. So you might as well take them in and get it.
He tells me when I'm pissing off down the road. He tells me when I'm pissed off down the road, though.
But you should know these things.
I should know what.
That you need eggs at the canning factory. What?
The fuck?
What's up?
Seen a little bit of a weird bug with trailers. Go in the
It
tractor.
hasn't strapped. Yeah.
Unstrap. No. Unstrap.
Shit. Yeah, that's weird.
See what I mean? With the back.
Yeah.
door.
Well, there is a weird bug at the moment. Like I said, straps. Make sure if you load anything onto a trailer, that you from the cab unstrap and restrap.
Oh yeah.
Because there's a bug at the moment. If you don't wear it, basically things won't be strapped down, even though they look like they are.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I get that. It was just a case of I wanted you to see the disappearing pallet trick.
Yeah, I haven't had that one before.
But you see what I mean? How kind of broken shit is?
Yeah.
Because that made you worry. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because the pallets had gone missing.
Yeah. But they actually haven't.
No,
They reappear. It's just right. I've got the eggs. I've got that. I'm going down to the canning factory.
Yep. God, this reminded me how much I dislike round balers.
You and me both.
At least with a square Bailey, you just go.
Okay. I've got to jump out and just walk away and look around a minute.
Oh, you're getting the what's it bug?
No, I was getting heavily FPS'd.
No, mine seems stable and my pings.
No, it's not. It wasn't not the ping. It was FPS. My game was tanking. For some bizarre reason, the game just started tanking once I'd restrapped this down and everything. After they disappeared and reappeared, yeah, the game just tanked. And that is odd considering how powerful this machine is. There's nothing running in the background, nothing being updated, you know, all that.
Just your OBS and your usual stuff.
Yeah. It's just, no, the game just tanked. It's so odd. You know what? I'm sure this wouldn't be legal, but...
What have you done?
Taking the tractor up on the highway.
Yeah, you know, ironically, when they first came out, JCB fast tracks were actually legally allowed to go on the motorway.
Are they not now?
No, they changed the ruling.
No.
Because I think the minimum speed was something like 45 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Obviously outside of anything like special heavy movements.
Hmm.
And the JCB's official top speed was probably quite deliberately listed as 46.
Yeah.
Now the rules say anything classified as agricultural is not allowed to.
Shame. Always kind
Although technically great because they are allowed to be used. You sometimes see like unimogs and that when they're doing work on the side of the motorway. So there's obviously some special circumstances where they are allowed to take them on.
Well, unimogs will be allowed on.
Depends what configuration, because in certain setups they're classed as agricultural machinery.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's like electricity, if it's electricity or if it's maintenance vehicles,
yeah,
that's
what I'm saying. That because they're allowed to take tractors on when they're doing like speed trailing aside a motorway, and they take one on to. But obviously they take them on for special movement and.
Yeah. Which is kind of weird because it's still classed as an agricultural vehicle.
Yeah, but when you need to do it because especially when it's business for the highways, it's amazing how quickly they'll turn the back on some of these rules.
Exactly. Oh, it's more than 22 down here now.
Good.
Right, so let's unstrap, restrap. Fucking game. Alright.
Just basically make sure that you unstrap them. Yeah, that seems to cure the problem. If you don't do that, so you can have the issue where just when you take a call and you'll realise half your stuff isn't actually strapped on.
No, it wasn't that. Did that put the eggs in? Because they disappeared pretty quick. Eggs, yes, it did.
Yeah, there's 2,000 litres listed in there. My worker James completes his task, so I'm going to move him over to field 3. And on there I shall stick what else have we got? We now have 2 wheat fields. We have pretty much everything, so I'll just do another wheat field and it'll all be ready at the same time. Be a nice easy throw the harvester between all of them job. I don't know whether the game's updated and like the brakes on tractors suddenly seem far worse than I remembered them to be.
But like I said, I've not seen an update for this game.
When it was part of 1.8, I just hadn't really noticed it till now.
Yeah.
There's 2 or 3 times I've done it on Riverbend as well, where the tracks haven't stopped as I expect them to. That probably sounds really silly, but
Yeah, but you have stop and go braking on, don't you?
no.
That's the point I'm trying to make. You have stop and go braking off, it acts weirdly. I don't get the point. I kind of don't understand the stop and go braking.
Oh, every time I start a new map, the first thing I have to do is turn that off and turn automatic engine start off.
Yeah.
Because both annoy the living hell out of me. The latter more because it means you can't leave a vehicle running.
That's why he's mad about that one.
Well, no, it's because there is times when you want to like set a vehicle. If you got someone on a PTO or something.
Yeah, I know. And then you get out of the vehicle and it
Switches itself off. It's like stupid.
It's like if you have.
Or if you're jumping out to open a gate in real life, you're not going to go through all the hassle and turn the vehicle fully off.
No.
Because you, especially if it's older machinery, you're risking not wanting to bloody start again or something silly.
Hmm. Game, make your mind up. Even the shit's not on my trailer or it's there. You know what I mean?
Australia. And then obviously this grass fielder one. I'm actually against rolling grass fields at the moment. It seems to be mixed whether it works. Sometimes it doesn't, but it's going to want re-fertilizing is what I was getting at.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
It's going to need one layer.
Well, that's fine. We have the. Just get me some.
Oh yeah, no.
Just get me some more extra.
I think we need some solid fertilizer, but I can't see any down there.
Yeah, I just need some extra solid fertilizer. I know it's got quite a bit in, but the amount of fertilization work it needs doing.
He doesn't just want one, he wants extra solid fertilizer, folks.
You are?
Is that like even harder than usual? Extra solid fertilizer?
Hmm.
Is that way it just comes in a brick? Just throw it at the field?
Yeah. I know there's quite a bit in the...
But it will get through it, yeah.
Yeah, it'll chomp through it. So.
Because like I say, field 4, in fact half of field 4 is only one level fertilised, so both sides of 4 need doing, half of 8 needs doing, half of 9 needs doing, and 3 will need. Well, I guess half of 4 and 3 are going to have to wait till tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because they're just planted. I already have 14 bales off this field, I'm only about halfway through it.
And that field...
No,
well, the field that's been planted will need rolling, won't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to see how much money you get from this farmer's market sale when you get there, because if you get enough, I'll be tempted to buy field 12 and a bit of forest as well. I can find a fairly cheap forest. I like the fact that field 12's already got barley on it, because that's useful to us.
Yeah.
Field 2 has not yet been replanted.
See, the weirdest thing is with this game is I have noticed there is, even with this, sometimes there is weird little graphical glitch.
Oh yeah.
To do with pallets.
Hmm.
And it seems to be on the ones that are in the box. I don't know which one it is.
Don't get me started on. Somebody actually did the math. I think it's the pallets of flour. The game lists them as like 400 kilos. If you add up how many bags of flour is actually on it, they won't be anywhere near that. They've just made the numbers up as they've gone along.
Well, yeah, because according to this, 1,000 litres of kimchi.
Yeah.
The mass is 400 kilos.
Yeah, if you look at the... I remember flour, because flour, I think there's 9
and
in like a box.
Like the noodle soup, 400 kilos. Preserved food, carrots, 400 kilos.
Yeah, that's 2,000 litres. I remember each pallet, that's 2,000.
The parsnips, 450 kilos.
Mm.
It's, yeah, it's... I don't question it, I just play the game.
It's probably done to try and make things easier, because in real life, I think you'd end up with so many weird, obscure weights.
Yeah.
They probably balanced it out for, like, quality of life and all that.
Hmm. I mean, you should know how much a pallet weighs.
Depends how much you put on it.
Mr. Forklift driver.
Literally, we get pallets at work that are like 800-900 kilos when they're full of boxes of beef and that.
Hmm.
And this is where I'm going to like almost probably boring man. You'd be surprised how much some things weigh.
Well, yeah.
I mean, a box of butter is 10 kilos. A box of butter is the size of an Xbox. So you can very quickly overload something.
Eh?
I mean, well, a box of butter, that's 40 blocks.
Right. Which
It's
Xbox?
10 kilos.
Yeah, but which Xbox are you talking about?
Which was the one that looked like a mini fridge?
Series X.
Yeah, it's like that kind of size. Literally, they're tiny. Tiny little box with 10 kilos.
Which?
A box of eggs is...
Yeah, but how can that... See, this is where you know more. How can that weigh 10 kilos?
It's 40 250 gram blocks.
Right, okay. Yeah, but... what? I suppose
Oh
you
yeah,
would-
you think... I'm assuming you've seen a block of butter isn't that big. And your standard block of butter in this country is 250 grams.
Yeah.
You say standard, some manufacturers started doing like 200 grams now so they can look cheap. But, so yeah, in the box is 40, so obviously 250 grams, 4 of them's a kilo.
Hmm.
Times it by 10, 40 is 10 kilos. A box of eggs, now we do box of eggs in 15 dozen.
Hmm.
They're 12.5 kilos. I've stuck them on a scale, I've checked this for myself.
Seems bizarre.
But you come to realise quickly, some of the we sometimes didn't always get our heads around how quickly the weights build up.
Well, yeah.
I mean, like I say, the thing is that box of butter is so small, you could get about 7 tons in the back of one of these vans of them if you really wanted to.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it seems...
And then joints of meat, the weight can add up very quickly.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine.
Well, like I say, it was famously a couple of years ago, I got done for being slightly overloaded.
Did you?
Yeah, I was...
First time I've heard
The
of this
van
one.
weighed up... No, it was last year.
Yeah, it's the
The van weighed...
first time I've heard of this.
No, not my tail, later. I got pulled at Switch Island.
Switch out.
Bottom at 58 at Liverpool.
Oh, yeah.
And the van weighed off at 3770.
Oh.
Company paid the fine, no points or anything.
Yeah, but...
And I don't think... The weird thing is, and this is where kind of the point I'm trying to make is, I think it kind of caught us off guard.
Hmm.
How the weight built. We have no way of weighing a van where we're based.
No.
You know what I mean? Unless you're going to sit there and add together, then you've got to add in like the weight of like the plastic trays we transport things in, which are going to be 2 or 3 kilos a piece.
Mm-hmm.
You got the weight of, all the little bits and pieces of your mouth, even down to your bag and that. All that's...
Well, yeah.
But the real funny part is, because I was less than 10%, I was allowed to continue with a lecture on stopping distances. That was on a Monday morning. We got out on the Saturday with at least a quarter on that van again. So we must have been well over.
Now...
But the thing is, the van drove perfectly. I was adamant as he pulled us onto scales that he wasn't going to be over because he drove beautifully. I always said I could tell when a van was getting heavy because you can feel it in the way they drive.
It's like even for example, a coach. You know.
If you had one full up with people and a lot of luggage underneath.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I've had the vans and they weren't over with like an 800 kilo pallet in the back.
Mm.
And you can feel it. I was explaining to people, it feels like you do after a really big meal.
Yeah. Sluggish.
It just feels lethargic.
Yeah. Sluggish.
Doesn't want to accelerate the same. Just doesn't want to move. The van that day drove in beautifully. They put on scale, say 200 kilos over. Shit. It actually pushed us. We now check weight a lot closer than we did.
Yeah, but that's the thing. How do you manage to weigh your vans with no...
Well, we don't. Well, what we have to do is we've had a big push where a lot of stuff in our computer system now has weights.
Well, yeah, I figured that, but
No, but a lot of the stuff beforehand didn't.
Hmm.
Because it'd never been thought of as an issue. But don't get me wrong, if a customer orders 10 kilo of beef, it's 10 kilos, we know that.
Yeah.
But some things we sell by quantity, not by weight.
Hmm.
You know, burgers, for example, you don't order, I want 5 kilo of burgers, you say I want 58 ounces or something.
Yeah.
But we've had to have a big push in our system to have all of that weighted accurately, or as accurately as you can do.
And calculate it for a load.
We get when we get our loading sheets, there is an approximate weight on it. It's an approximate weight, but you do have an approximate weight on there, which can help you just see where. 28 bales I got off that field.
Nice.
Not bad.
Yeah, not bad. Well.
But yes, it was like £100 fine because it was little. Like I said, the company paid it because they actually took the fact that I had no way of knowing really that van was going to be over. I'd loaded what I'd been instructed to.
Well, yeah. I
Like
mean,
I say, we don't have a weigh bridge. We can't stick them on a set of scales.
I mean that's the weirdest thing though, because it's like, okay, I get it for some other drivers and companies or whatever. Yeah, they load it themselves, but well, you guys do probably, but
we do. But the thing is, you do it by hand. It's one of them things because you're loading 20, 30 kilo a time trays.
Yeah.
Sometimes less. The maximum is about 35 kilos because, to us, I can't lift a lot more than that. That's about where the top end of my
needs to be hitting the words.
I don't, because trust me, it's because of where that I'm actually not bad with stuff like that. Because we do lift and move quite a bit of stuff about, you know. That's the thing. I'm not going to say I'm particularly fit. I'm not. I'm a fat kid, but I'm actually fairly strong at that because work does keep me. But yeah, it's amazing how quickly that weight can just sort of sneak up. Like I say, you don't think about it till it's on. Like them boxes of eggs, 12 kilos.
Yeah.
So 10 of them, it's like near enough 1/8 of a ton. The payload on our vans is only a ton.
Yeah. It just like I said. So if the company sends you out now, and you were to get busted again, whose fault is it?
I mean, to be honest with you, any driver with an alpha brain just throw the company under the bus. Now it depends on because if you're under 10%, it's just it's a fine and a warning. If you're over 10%, the vehicle is not allowed to be moved till some weight comes off it.
So in other words, you'd have to get another van out.
You have to get somebody else to come over and take some off.
Yeah.
Now, like I say, when it happened to me, I think it was like a £100 fine, but the company, without question, took that, and they paid it.
Their fault, really. That.
I was sort of half expecting a fight on that and never even got one, so fair enough.
What you were expecting?
I was expecting a bit of backwards and forwards and them to try and, but it wasn't even queried.
What, to basically say, right, well, you've got to pay this?
Like we pay parking fines, speeding fines, that kind of thing. Which I'm not against that. I understand that. You know, we pay our own on things like that.
Well,
but
yeah. Yeah, but if the company was within.
But any driver worth their salt, you would just turn around and say, well, I was loading what I was instructed to by the company. Here's the list they gave me.
Yeah.
There's a number on the bottom with an approximate weight. That's what we thought was on it. And the company, because, you know, like I say, my arms aren't calibrated.
No.
I can't give you accurate.
Yeah, but this is the thing I don't understand why. You know, okay, yeah, they're saying.
And every little company out there ain't gonna go and stick a weighbridge in the yard because it's not feasible.
No. I mean, that's the thing that used to piss me off about the coaches as well.
I would think you'd struggle to get a coach to be overloaded, wouldn't you? Because I would think it'd be...
No, you can. You can. Because it's the luggage.
Yeah, well, obviously, yeah. Makes sense.
But the way they class it, the weight is the unladen weight of the vehicle.
Well, that's normally written on the side of the vehicle on a coach, and if you ever look, you can normally see that.
It tells you. It's ULW.
Yeah, unladen weight, which is normally, I would say, about 11 tons on most.
But they then take the weight of everybody. Well, as weird, this is how they take it, not being stupid. They take every passenger on board. They don't weigh them, obviously, because they're not allowed to.
But, I think that would be classed as...
yeah, but the way they calculate it is the passenger weight including driver.
Well, they'll work out based on, like, they'll have an average passenger weight.
Yeah, and then there's luggage weight, an average luggage weight as well. Combine that.
Because most coaches being four-wheelers would be 18 ton gross weight, I would think.
Been a long time since I've been out in the industry, so I can tell you that weight. I used to know.
Well, the maximum you're allowed to run on four-wheelers is 18 ton.
Yeah.
Six-wheelers is 26. That's from trucks. Six-wheelers are 26 ton. Four-wheelers are 18 tonners. Because what you often get as one of the little sidelines, I know a lot of the the big food distribution companies will actually run a six-wheeler wagon at 18 tons. But they do that so they can have a rear steer on it. Because in city work, a rear steer can be your best friend on the planet.
No shit.
You probably find the same if you ever had a coach with a rear steer on.
Fucking dry axle. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Because they only run them at 18. They only run them at 18 ton, which is four-wheeler weight. But by having the extra axle and having the steer on the back, when you're working in city centres and that, it just gives you so much more manoeuvrability.
That's the front lock going. Yeah, don't press the forward key.
Well, that's not looking bad.
That was it. That was all. That's all the.
That was 100k then. It was like just over 100k then, wasn't it?
Yeah, I just had to, because of that this weird bug with the pallet things at the minute. It's. Oh, hang on. What's that? The fuck?
What's up?
Okay. Some Anoki mushrooms. Either they didn't get sold or they got ejected.
So we have 500 knots. So if I was to buy field 12, that would leave us with like 80,000. Can I get a bit of forest land with that kind of money?
Probably not.
That isn't like a million miles away.
Probably not.
Oh, 71 there at 91,000.